Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're having a battle versus Richie Neo U tier from the Discord server. Today's battle was amazing. We face a really cool Trick Room team and it's just absolutely brilliant. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. And with that being said, let's jump into the team preview. Okay, Richie has brought a solid looking team. They got a Slowking Galar, Cinderace, Ursaluna, Cresselia, Glastria, and of course a Great Tusk. Powerful stuff. Looks like it's going to be some sort of Trick Room team, or it could be screen support with the Cresselia. Cresselia and Slowking are the only real Trick Room setters, and Cinderace doesn't benefit from the Trick Room, neither does the Great Tusk too much. The Ursaluna and the Glastria, on the other hand, definitely do. So we're going to have to do something about those. I think they lead off with Cinderace or Slowking, in which case I might lead off with the old Landorus Faireon. I think that might be a good lead. We can go for a nice and powerful Earthquake on the Cinderace, Earthquake on the Slowking, that kind of stuff. So let's go for that. And the battle begins. So Richie's going to lead off with the Cinderace as expected, as we lead off with the Landorus. Great Stripe, nice and shiny, gotta love it. I really like this custom shiny. It looks like a tiger. Like it gives me Raikou vibes, which is cool. Anyway, we could Stealth Rocks. They have got a Great Tusk on the team though. They probably U-turn here, or they go for a Will-O-Wisp, which is a very big possibility. So what I might do is go into the Rotom and just kind of go from there. Alternatively, we could just go straight for a U-turn. If they burn us, it's not the biggest deal in the world because we're not really doing much damage to them outside of the Earthquake on the Cinderace. So I guess we could go straight for an Earthquake. I think I will go straight for an Earthquake. They do withdraw the Cinderace. They hard withdraw because we could be Scarf Landorus, to be fair. As they're going to go into Gronk, which is going to be the nice and powerful Great Tusk, nice and shiny, look at that beauty. And we go for the EQ. That's obviously going to do diddly squats to the Great Tusk, but it is damage nonetheless. Now, we aren't outspeeding this thing, no way, Jose. We don't want to go for a U-turn, because if they go for an Ice Spinner, it's going to hurt. I think our best bet is probably Gyarados, so I'm going to go ahead and go straight into Gyarados. Gyarados can take any hit this thing wants to throw at us, really. If it goes for a knockoff and knocks off our Lumberry, that's unfortunate, but it's whatever. They don't really have a status inflictor on their team, so we'll go Gyarados real quick. They do go for a knockoff. It's going to do some decent chip damage to us, knocks off our Lumberry as well. As now we can go for Dragonlance, or we can anticipate the Cresselia switch, and we can switch back into the Scizor. I'm leaning towards the Scizor play. Definitely leaning towards the Scizor play. I don't think the Great Tusk wants to take any more damage unnecessarily. I think they go straight into Cresselia here, or the Glastria. So I'm going to go Scizor. I'm going to go hard Scizor. So we're going to withdraw. And we're going to go straight into Scizor. We are a jolly max speed Gyarados, so I think we outspeed the Great Tusk anyway. So we'll go Scizor real quick. There we go. They do withdraw. Are they going to go Cresselia? Have we made the right read? That's the real question. Cresselia comes in. There we go. So Cresselia, we made the right read. We went into Scizor on the Cresselia. They probably go for a Trick Room here, in which case that's fair enough. I am going to go straight for a U-turn here, as that's going to do a lot of chip damage to the Cresselia. It does a lot of chip damage to the Cresselia. That's not chip damage. That's a critical hit. There we go. And we're going to switch out in something that can better handle the remaining of the Cresselia's health, which is going to have to be Gengar, I believe. So we'll go Gengar. Now, Gengar does have a Focus Sash. I don't believe the Cresselia will have gone for the Psychic. So we'll go Gengar real quick. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. As they do go for the Trick Room, the deadly Trick Room. Now, we do have a Focus Sash, so we're not in too bad of a situation here. They don't want to lose their Cresselia now, so I don't think they stay in here and attack us. I think they switch out into the Ursaluna to take a Shadow Ball, because obviously Ursaluna is immune to Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb if it's bulletproof. It's immune to Shadow Ball anyway because it's a normal type move. So I think their best play right now is to go Ursaluna. In which case, I'm inclined to go for a nasty plot here. But at the same time, if they attack us with a Cresselia, we're kind of boned. I think the best thing to do is to go for the Shadow Ball. I think that's probably the best thing to do. They do withdraw the Cresselia. I couldn't risk them going for a Psychic and breaking our Focus Sash. So they do go the Ursaluna, which is fair enough. Ursaluna's fair enough. We go for a Shadow Ball. Obviously, it's not going to affect the Ursaluna because it's a normal type. They are the Flame Orb variant, which is good to know. Means I can actually do some damage with my Sludge Bomb if I want to. And I think what we really need to do is weaken this Ursaluna. That's what we need to do, weaken it. Because the only thing I can see Gengar being useful for now is doing exactly this. So I'm going to go for a stab sludge bomb. They go for a fire punch. I was hoping for a headlong rush there, but they go for get the curse body on the fire punch, which is nice. We go for a sludge bomb. I was really hoping for a headlong rush there, mainly because it'd lower the defenses. But obviously they're not going to do that if they don't have to, which they didn't, because they still 2-hit KOs with that. So what's our options here? We could go Great Tusk, get that Intimidate off. Great Stripe, sorry, not Great Tusk. We could save the Gengar for later. I think it might be worth it, you know. I think going into the Landorus is worth it. So we'll go Landorus because they're probably going to go for a headlong rush here. They can't go for a facade against the Gengar, that's for sure. So we'll go in here. We'll get the Intimidate off, which would be great. And hopefully we're going to walk in on a headlong rush. They do go for a headlong rush, which is great. Headlong rush is perfect. As the Twisted Dimensions should wear off the next turn. I'm right. Yes. So they go for a facade here. We go back into Gengar, expecting the facade. We kind of have to play around this pretty, you know, as best we can. So we'll go into Gengar, expecting a facade. They might go for an Ice Punch. It's always an option. They go for a facade, which is great. So we're playing around them a bit. We don't want the Trick Room up. That's the main problem we've got here. So what I'm going to do is, now that the Twisted Dimensions have returned to normal, I am going to go ahead and switch back out into Landorus, just in case. But what do they do here? I think weakening the Ursaluna is going to be worth it. So I'm going to go for another Sludge Bomb. There we go. Sludge Bomb comes through. Going to do a bit of chip damage to the Ursaluna. It's not very effective, but it is what it is. I'm starting to think Dazzling Gleam might have done a bit more damage, but you know, it's whatever. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. As long as we weaken this thing to the point now where we can come in and revenge kill it with whatever we want. So the Ursaluna is on death's door, which is great. That burn damage is taking its toll as well. And now they're no longer disabled on the fire punch. That's good to note. Good to note. So we could go Gyarados. We could go for a Dragon Dance. Start setting up that way. If we want to. I think I will go Gyarados just to try and get that damage off, because not a lot on their team wants to switch into Gyarados. You know, Waterfall really hurts a lot of the team. Glastrier is probably the best switch in I think they're going to go for, so we'll go for Waterfall anyway. We'll try and get the KO on this Ursaluna. That's the ideal situation. So they are going to withdraw the Ursaluna. What are they going to go into there? That's the real question. They're going to go into the Slowking. Okay, Slowking's fair enough. Now, this is really tempting right now. So we can go for a Waterfall. Does a lot of damage. Will Earthquake KO from there? That's the real question. I think it will. I think we could Tera and go for an Earthquake to get the KO. Because they're probably going to Trick Room with this thing, right? So do we Tera Earthquake? I think we do, don't we? What else do I need Tera for? Not really a lot on their team. So let's go for the Tera Ground Earthquake. If they Tera here as well, into like a Tera Flying, that's going to be a pain. That's going to be a real pain, but it is what it is. So Tera Ground Gyarados, ladies and gentlemen, is a monster, by the way. Once you've got a Dragon Dance up, you are pretty much good to go. That Stab Earthquake, it comes in real handy. So we go for a Stab Earthquake. They are going to Tera themselves into a what, though? That's the real question. Into a what? So they're going to go into a Stab, into a Flying type. Of course they go into a Flying type. Of course they do. Of course they do. So this has not worked out very well for us at all. We go for the EQ. Obviously, it doesn't work on a Slowking that's Tera Flying. And they go for they tell a chillingly bad joke. Chilly Reception comes through. Now it's going to make it snow. And they get a free switch out into whatever they want to go into. And I think the best thing for them to go into is probably going to be the Glastrier or the Cresselia. Glastrier comes in. Now, Glastrier can definitely take any hit we want to throw at it. That's the problem we've got. We've got two ground types. We've got Scizor in the back. We've got Rotom in the back. I think Rotom's a good play. Because they don't really have any coverage for Rotom. They've got Close Combat, but Close Combat is going to 2-hit KO probably. But after the defense drop, Overheat will do the rest. So that's that. Or we can just go for a Stab Earthquake and get some damage off on the Glastrier. I think that's a good idea, but I kind of want to keep Gyarados around. So I think I'm going to go Scizor. I'm going to go Scizor because after they get the defense drops from the Close Combat, Bullet Punch is going to be really good. Bullet Punch will be really good. So let's see what happens. They go for an Icicle Crash instead of a Close Combat. They didn't expect the switch, which is good to note. We can go for a Close Combat ourselves. Guess I'll get a lot of damage off. It'll do more than Bullet Punch will. Will it? Will bullet punch do more? Technician boosted, stab boosted, punching glove boosted. But close combat space 120 and it lowers the defenses. I'd say bullet punch is the best play because it hits more Pokemon if they switch out. So bullet punch comes through, it's going to hit the glass Gear. It's not even going to 2-hit KO it. That's crazy. As they go for another Icicle Crash, which is going to do some chip damage to us. So that's unfortunate. Oh, they get defense. They get a defense boost, don't they, because of the snow? I forgot about that. It's very rare that I face snow anymore. So I'm going to go for another bullet punch. They do withdraw the glass Gear because they don't want to take any more bullet punches. And they're going to go into the Cinderace. So Cinderace is a good play. Cinderace is a very good play. It's not going to appreciate the bullet punch too much, but you know, it is chip damage at the end of the day. So now we have to switch out because we're expecting a Pyro Ball to the face, but they probably go for a U-turn to be fair. So let's go to Landorus real quick. Landorus is a good switch, gets the Intimidate off and all that stuff. They might go for the Will-O-Wisp. If they go for a Will-O-Wisp, that's a good play. If they don't go for a Will-O-Wisp, then we're sorted. So we get the Intimidate off, which is great. They go straight for a Pyro Ball. We're going to eat that up because we're definitively defensive. There we go. Please don't burn me. The snow does stop, which is good. Now we just go straight for a U-turn. We go straight for a U-turn because they still don't know whether we're defensive with Rocky Helmet because the Pyro Ball doesn't give Rocky Helmet damage. They go into Gronk, which is going to be the Great Tusk. Good to note. Nice and shiny. Go for a U-turn. Get some chip damage off on the Great Tusk, which is great. Rocky Helmet does take into effect, which is unfortunate. They could still think we're Choice Scarf Landorus. They still think we're Choice Scarf Landorus at this point, which is good. Good. Very good. So Gyarados would be a good switch, but they could have Ice Spinner. I don't think they do, though. I think they're more of a defensive variant, to be honest with you. I think they're more of a defensive variant. So if Cresselia comes in, this is a good opportunity for Gyarados. This is a very good opportunity for Gyarados. Because if we get a Dragon Dance off, we're going to be alright. We're going to be alright. Dragon Dance, Gyarados is going to start punching some holes. Provided we can live an Earthquake. Provided we can live an Earthquake or an Ice Spinner, for that matter. But, you know, I don't think they stay in here. They do stay in. Are they Ice Spinner? I think they're defensive. Because they've got Rocky Helmet, so I think they're defensive. So let's see how this works out for us. So they go for an EQ. From a defensive one. Oh, no, it's too much damage. That means Waterfall's going to get... We're going to get KO'd by the Rocky Helmet from Waterfall. Let's go for it anyway. Nearly KO'd the Great Tusk. They are defensive. Rocky Helmet's going to take into effect as Rampage goes down. So we lose Gyarados. We did lose Gyarados, unfortunately. But Gyarados did good. It punched some holes in the team. Well, not really. Stopped him going for a Rapid Spin to boost the speed, which is good. Now we just go into whatever we want. So we can just go into Cresselia if we want to and go for a Psychic. That does bait in the... does bait in their Cresselia a little bit. I'm starting to think that our Great Tusk, our Landorus is a good play. Because Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage. Could potentially KO them still. Scizor is also a good choice. Bullet Punch and all that. I think we go Scizor, Bullet Punch. Because we have the Punching Glove, so we're not going to make contact when we Bullet Punch them. So we should be able to KO with Bullet Punch here. And then from there... There we go. We KO the Great Tusk. Yes, we KO the Great Tusk. No Rocky Helmet damage, which is great. This does give them a free switch into their Cinderace, though, which is not what we wanted. Definitely not what we wanted. In comes the Cinderace, as expected. Now, they can probably expect us to go for a switch here into Landorus again, but Pyro Ball, they lose nothing from going for Pyro Ball. So I think I go straight into our Rotom here. I think we go straight into Rotom. There we go. Toasty comes in. Nice and powerful, nice and fast, because it's Choice Scarfed. They go for the Pyro Ball. They lose nothing from going for Pyro Ball. Does some nice chip damage. They can probably tell we're not defensive from that damage. Let's go for a nice and powerful trick. I think Choice Scarf tricking this thing is going to be useful because we don't need Choice Scarf to outspeed everything on the team other than the Cinderace. So I'm going to go for the trick here. We do go for the trick. There we go. I think tricking a Choice Scarf onto the Cinderace is going to be useful. So they got a Choice Scarf. We got Heavy Duty Boots, which is cool. So they're going to go for another Pyro Ball. Now that they're locked into the Pyro Ball, we can't switch out still. We're just going to have to let Rotom go down. So let's go for a Volt Switch. They go for another Pyro Ball. That's going to take out Rotom Heat, unfortunately. But they are locked in, which is great to note. Really good to note. So now we can go Great Tusk, or we can go into our Cresselia and we can start going for, we can go for a Reflect. Reflect will be very useful. Reflect will be very useful. So we'll go Cresselia. There we go. Go Cresselia. And we really want to get this Reflect up. We really want to get this Reflect up. So we'll go Reflect. They do go straight for a Pyro Ball again. It's going to do a lot of damage. And it gets the burn, which is really unfortunate. Cinderace is putting in a lot of work right now. So Reflect comes through. That's going to be really useful. Really useful. So, if we assume that they're probably going to go Cresselia right now and Trick Room, we go for a Thunder Wave. So they do withdraw the Cinderace. Are they going to go Cresselia to get a Trick Room up? Cresselia comes in to get a Trick Room up. Nice. So we go for a Thunder Wave. Now this could come into effect. This could, if they get fully paralyzed on the switch into Scizor right now, then we're actually in a really good position. We're in a really good position. So we go straight into Scizor right now. Do they go hard into... No, they Luna Dance. They Luna Dance into Ursaluna. Crap. Crap. We Psychic then. We Psychic just to get some chip damage off. Because they're going to Luna Dance anyway. They go for a Trick Room. Oh no, they Trick Room and then they Luna Dance. They Trick Room and then they Luna Dance. I may have just threw this game. I may have just threw this game. I think Ursaluna comes through right now. I really think Ursaluna comes through right now. Let's go Scizor. Let's go Scizor now. Why now? Well, just in case they get fully paralyzed for a start. Burn away another Trick Room turn. They get... Oh, yes! You couldn't call that stuff. You couldn't call it. So we have got another chance here. We do have another chance. Now, I don't think that U-turn KOs because the first one was a crit. Might do. Might KO. Let's go for it. Let's go for the U-turn real quick. So they go for the Luna Dance, which is going to KO them. And that gives them a free switch into whatever they want to go for. So we go for the U-turn, which is obviously going to fail. Oh, dear. Ursaluna can come in right now. There it is. The Ursaluna comes in. Gets fully healed from the Luna Dance. There we go. That was unfortunate. Really unfortunate. So our best bet right now is to go into Landorus, and then back into Cress. Go for a Psychic and hope that we can do some damage to this thing. But the Cinderace being alive still means we've lost this game. Cinderace being alive means we lost this game, so that's unfortunate. So they go for a Fire Punch, expecting the Scizor maybe. Minimal damage to us, Rocky Helmet and all that stuff. They finally found out with Rocky Helmet. Now, that Fire Punch did nothing, which is great. So I'm just wondering what the best way to go about this would be. Stealth Rock would be nice, Longevity Rise, but there's no point. Let's go for an Earthquake. So they go for a Swords Dance. That's just wow. Swords Dance good boosted. Oh, okay, we've lost. Earthquake is going to do the squat. It isn't decent bad, to be fair. We've lost the Cresselia. So if we can get rid of this thing, Twisted Dimensions return to normal. Yeah. Now we go into Cresselia. We go into Cresselia because we want to keep Landorus around for the Cinderace. So we'll go into Lunaris. You go for a Facade. Takes out Lunaris, of course. Well, I want to make this game as close as possible. I think we can still maybe pull this back. Maybe. I think we can take care of the Ursaluna at least. So the Reflectors wear off, which is really unfortunate. We go into Scizor. We go for a close combat. 60 seconds till the battle ends. That's so frustrating. Let's go for that close combat real quick, and then we'll just go ahead and go from there. Close combat's going to do enough to KO the Ursaluna, which is great. We got rid of that thing. Finally. But we have the Cinderace in check. So the Cinderace is a thing still. We don't have any way to touch the Slowking Galar with Landorus. So unfortunately, I believe we've lost this game. So, we go for a BP here. There we go. BP comes through. Bit of chip damage on the Cinderace. Why not? You go for a Pyro Ball. That's going to take out Scizor, of course. Down it goes. Down it goes. Down it goes. And then we bring in Landorus and we go for an EQ. But they probably go into the Slowking right now. So nice and shiny, of course. Get the Intimidate off. We go for an EQ with 1 second left. They go for a Pyro Ball. Nearly KO us, not really. Get the burn though, which is really annoying. Just add insult into injury as we go for the EQ. And that is, of course, going to KO the Cinderace, making the game a nice 2-0 in my opponent's favor. I don't think we could have touched that Glass Slowking with the Landorus unless we wanted to try and U-turn it to death, but I'm pretty sure it has attacking moves of some kind. So I think we lost that one indefinitely, regardless of the timer. There's the Glastrier coming in just to show itself off before we go. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.